everyone, and welcome to another exciting, thrilling, entertaining edition of Books and Banter, your Medina's Library. It's a video blog as to what the experts are reading. In lieu of any experts, I will be filling in today. My name is Lucius. I'm a librarian here in Medina. I'm coming to you from the stacks, the old-fashioned hardcore library, books and shelves and all that good stuff on the second floor of the Medina Library. I'm over by the European history for you keeping score at home. Coming to you on kind of a rainy day, but we're not going to complain about that here in Medina right now. So today, if you've never seen the show before, shame on you. But besides that, you can go back and look at our first two episodes where I give a little bit of a more explanation as to what the show is about. Here's the dime store version. It's books, talking about books, and banter. You're going to hear me rant and rave for a little bit. I also give you a wine pairing. I may be the only person in the world that pairs books with wine right now. So let's get into it. First book, I kind of talked about this on the last episode. What Comes Next, John Katzenbach. I was reading it at the time. I finished it. I really liked that. The two books I'm going to talk about today are kind of fall into that traditional, what a traditional thriller type of book is. The first book I talked about, Room, that's kind of a goofy one out there. It's not really in a genre. The last one I did was kind of the senior mystery type of subgenre that's developing. These are classical, grab a book, sit around the fire, in a dark room with a little lamp on and just hammer through a book. These are just really classical thrillers. So I think the majority of you are going to like these books. These aren't ones that I feel like you may like, you may not. I think you're going to like these. So what comes next? It starts with Adrian Thomas. He's a retired professor, and kind of what I look for in books is kind of a catch, something that's a little bit different. And with this one, Adrian has what's called Lewy body dementia. Now, if we get a bigger budget, we're going to have some research analysis. I don't know if this is a real disease or not. It sounds pretty real. But anyway, long story short, what it does, it's kind of like an Alzheimer's. It causes hallucinations, a loss of critical reasoning and memory, things like that. So Adrian's kind of suffering for this. And he's lost all of his family, and he's actually contemplating suicide when he sees what he thinks is a girl being kidnapped. And it ends up that girl actually was kidnapped. So this Jennifer is her name. She's the kidnapped girl, young teen that was, kind of on the outs. She'd run away before. That kind of plays into the story as well. Her character, very character-driven book. The characters are really, really well drawn, really sharp in this book. So anyway, long story short, Adrian starts to think that, hey, I did see a kidnapping. No one else is doing anything about this. I'm the only witness. I need to do something about it. But here's where it gets interesting. Because he has this disease that causes hallucinations, he doesn't have a partner per se, but his partners are him hallucinating about the family members he's lost that are deceased, his wife, his brother, and all these family members come in, and it's really in his head that he's critically thinking, what do I need to do next? What's my next step? But it manifests itself as these family members, which I thought was really, really unique. You have the classic bad guys, Michael and Linda are the two kidnappers. What comes next? This is where it gets creepy. This is where it gets a little twisted and gets in your head, makes you kind of cringe a little bit. What comes next? The website they run, where they are kidnapping individuals and then kind of filming them without them knowing about it. And there's some bad stuff, horrible stuff. Maybe not for the squeamish. If you're kind of squeamish, you may not want to go to this book. But very good. And Adrian, of course, he has his kind of hallucinations guiding him along. He enlists the help of some kind of anti-heroes. I don't want to give away too much because I think it's very interesting how they do it. And then it becomes kind of that classic, race against time. Is Adrian and his hallucinations and his kind of weird sidekick, are they gonna find Jennifer before something horrible happens? So I'd pick this book up. I'm gonna pair this with a Pinot Noir, but from a different region. Stay away from the California, the Oregon, the Burgundy, the New Zealand. Try something weird. Get a Pinot Noir from Argentina or Chile, something like that. Something that's kind of weird, makes you think like, is this really a Pinot Noir? It's kind of what I felt like this book was like. Okay, next up, Daniel Suarez, Kill Decision. Another book another author, that's been around for a little bit. This is his third book, all well reviewed. First one I've read. This is a very sharp, very techno thriller, very early Tom Clancy, Michael Crichtonish. It's got the science component, it's got the military component. Very, very interesting. This compared to What Comes Next, where What Comes Next was much more about the characters. This is really plot driven. The characters are kind of, they're not well super structured, well written, kind of stock characters. Linda McKinley is I had to write this down. She is a myrmecologist. Again, I'm guessing this is real. Which a myrmecologist studies the social structure of ants. So she gets involved in this. You have the classical stock, evil corporate villain involved. You have the Rambo style special forces involved. And without giving too much away, it's about drones. It's about the proliferation of drones in the world. Instead of the U.S. just having drones in our military, everyone's got them. It's the evolution of drones. It's how turning drones into completely autonomous forces that think, feel, react on their own. That's kind of where the science comes in because of Linda, her study of how ants behave in the structure of their societies. It kind of gets, the bad guys kind of steal that and put it into drones and forces this weird kind of robotic army. And again, the race against time, classic thriller. It's the race against time to stop the big event. It's kind of always that differentiates in my mind a thriller from mystery. Thriller is always this cataclysmic, you know what I mean? This big world-changing event, horrible event. Whereas mystery is a little bit more local. It's not going to affect the whole world. Classic thriller. Couldn't put this one down. I just tore through this book. I set aside every other book I was reading. Just a really fun read. And again, I think you're going to really enjoy this. Okay, what I'm reading right now, I just got this not that long ago, about 60 pages in. John Vernon, Let the Devil Sleep. This is his third novel. It's in the Dave Gurney series. The first one, Think of a Number, won quite a few awards in the mystery genre a couple years back. And again, this one picks up right there. Very interesting. I love these books. I love this series. By the way, series, an interesting little concept one of our other librarians brought up was called series fatigue. We were talking about books, and it's this concept of, hey, I've read all these books in a series, and I love it, but I'm just kind of burned out about it. And I think I thought that in my head, but never really verbalized it before. So series fatigue, there's a question for you. Do you get series fatigue? Jan Ivanovich is one that I think we're seeing here in the library that people aren't as fired up about I think she's up to 19 books now. That one seems to be experiencing that series fatigue. So there's a question for you. Series fatigue, are there authors that you're experiencing that with? Just something to think about. Okay, quick little music review too. Neil Young's newest album, Americana, been out about a month now maybe. I'm a huge Neil Young fan. Neil Young's getting up there. He's approaching 70. Still cranking out some pretty good music though. Not my favorite CD, and not encouraging you to go out and buy it right away. Get it from the library. Take a look at it. Take a listen to it. Check it out. Kind of fun. Last but not least, the library commercial. We're getting towards the end of summer. We don't have a ton of programming left. We're getting ready to wrap up summer and roll into fall. The one program I do want to give a little plug to, our Buckeyes Library is having their Keep on Truckin' program Saturday, September 15th. Just a wonderful program. Bring the kids out. I always take mine. You get the fire trucks, you get dump trucks, and EMTs and police and all kinds of neat stuff out there. So check them out on Saturday, September 15th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can find this, fluffing this around, Book Page. This is our newest edition of Book Page. You can pick this up in all of our library branches. Great reviews, hints on new authors. You like reading? Take a look at this. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions, comments, please email me. We'll have a link to it. And that's it. Thank you for joining us again, and we will see you at the library.